Top 10 Comedy Movies of 2022. If you like comedies like A Perfect Pairing, then you have come to the right place, because we have listed the top 10 comedies of 2022 that you should watch. Nowadays, movies that belong to the comedy genre are becoming more and more popular. When we have spent a long day battling the realities of the world and feel exhausted, comedy comes to mind as a film genre. Comedy movies are unlike any other as they bring us back to reality, help us forget the fights we see every day, and sometimes help us recover from a long time we spent watching comedy movies. Action and fantasy. No one can disagree with the fact that unlike action films, which benefit from big budgets and computer graphics technology, comedy still relies on a compelling plot, lifelike performances, and catchy dialogue and music choices, bringing them closer to our hearts/p. Here is the list of the 10 best comedy movies of 2022. Jackass Forever. Jeff Tremaine is the director and producer of the 2022 American reality comedy film Jackass Forever. This is the fourth main installment in the Jackass franchise after Jackass 3D. The film received positive reviews from critics, many of whom thought it was the franchise's best. In addition, he was financially successful, earning nearly $80 million worldwide on a budget of $10 million. I Want You Back. Jason Orley is the director of the 2022 American romantic comedy film I Want You Back, written by Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger. Charlie Day and Jenny Slate play two recently abandoned strangers who team up to undermine their ex's new relationship. Relationships in the film. Critics gave the film mostly positive reviews. A Perfect Pairing. A Perfect Pairing is an American romantic comedy that was released in 2022. A wine manager from Los Angeles named Lola is the central subject of the film. Victoria Justice plays the role of Lola in the film, and Adam Demos plays Max in the film. Stuart McDonald is the director. The film was first available on Netflix on May 19, 2022. The film is marketed as lighthearted entertainment perfect for people who enjoy female boss movies and wine. Dog. The 2022 American comedic drama Avenue film Dog is primarily based totally on a tale through Brett Rodriguez and Reed Carolyn, and it's Miles co-directed through Channing Tatum and Reed Carolyn, who are each making their film directing debuts. Tatum performs an Army Ranger inside the film who's charged with accompanying his slain friend's provider canine to his funeral. Critics gave the film in large part favorable evaluations and praised Tatum's route and performance. Turning Red. American computer lively fable comedy Turning Red launched in 2022 via way of means of Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures and Pixar Animation Studios. The film's director turned into Domitia. The movie, which is about in Toronto, Ontario in 2002, facilities on Maylin Mei Li, a 13-year antique Chinese-Canadian female who, because of her own circle of relatives' curse, becomes a massive purple panda on every occasion she feels an affective emotion. Senior Year. Senior Year is a 2022 comedy film written by Andrew Nauer, Arthur Pielli, and Brandon Scott Jones. It was directed by Alex Hardcastle and produced in the United States. Rebel Wilson, who also produced the film, plays a 37-year-old woman who wakes up from a coma after 20 years and decides to go back to high school to graduate. Wedding Season. Tom Day's 2022 American romantic comedy Wedding Season is based on the screenplay by Shawani Srivastava. Workaholic Asha, Sharda, and free spirit Ravi Sharma are under parental pressure to find partners in this Netflix rom-com. Hocus Pocus 2. The American delusion comedy movie Hocus Pocus 2, become written via way of means of Jen D'Angelo, directed via way of means of Vin Fletcher, and made via way of means of Walt Disney Pictures. The solid performances, humor, and nostalgia have been praised with inside the reviews, however the plot become criticized. Three teens by accident shipping the Sanderson sisters to present-day Salem, wherein they should parent out the way to forestall the child-ingesting witches from wreaking havoc at the planet. The Man from Toronto. American action comedy The Man from Toronto changed into helmed via way of means of Patrick Hughes in 2022. Critics gave the film specifically unfavorable reviews. A world elegance murderer and a clueless New Yorker are fallacious for every different at an Airbnb on this identity change comedy, which has a few pretty excessive stakes. The Lost City. The Lost City conjures up images from other films of a romance novelist trudging through the jungle alongside her handsome counterpart, but it stands on its own. Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum shine as the lead duo. The city may be lost, but not his sense of humor. Loner Loretta Sage writes about exotic locations in her popular adventure novels starring a beautiful cover model named Alan. While on tour with Alan to promote his new book, Loretta is kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire who hopes he can guide him to the lost treasure of an ancient city from his most recent story. Determined to prove that he can be a hero in real life and not just on the pages of his books, Alan sets out to save her. Jerry and Marge Go Large. The great thing about this true story is that it feels like a crime thriller without actually being one. Real-life retiree Jerry Selby discovered that if he put enough money into a particular lottery game, he would win with a large return. The pair ended up winning over $25 million, but not without some research and a bit of competition. Starring Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening, this Paramount Plus release has all the makings of a thrilling crime-free crime comedy. When retiree Jerry Selby discovers a mathematical loophole in the Massachusetts lottery he and his wife embark on an exciting multi-million-dollar winning streak to revitalize their small Michigan town. However, when a selfish college student cheats on the system, Jerry must find a way to make the game fair for everyone.